Ark has been going through a lot of changes over the past few weeks, and I've been holding off a bit on covering it all because it seems to be changing minute by minute. But we've got a bunch to discuss when it comes to cryopods, Tame limits, Snail games, and even Ark 2. There's a lot coming in and spread over a variety of topics, but if you're into Ark, it's all very interesting. My name is LtBuzzLitebeer, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In case you haven't done so already, remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are always appreciated. Chapters are in place and available for a smooth and easy viewing experience. And let's dive into the past few weeks from Ark. First off, some of this was recorded prior to Christmas and just never posted. Call it a glitch in the YouTube matrix. Some of it I added in today, but make use of those chapters to jump around to whatever you want. It's all still valid information. Okay, so of course, a few Fridays ago, we're going to start off with the Community Crunch. This time, it was number 391. By the way, a link can be found to this in the video description. That basically went through a recap of current events touching on the Winter Wonderland event, which is live until January 7th on official servers. There's also a full mod spotlight, again, touching on Winter Wonderland and Survival of the Fittest, among others. Another splash and full write-up about Survival of the Fittest, which went live fairly recently, and a reminder about Ark POC, which also went through a recent wipe, with the next wipe scheduled for January 19th. Alright, TLDR recap out of the way, let's dive into the real issues and discussions swirling around Ark, starting off with this recent Ark Survivors story trailer, which was odd in many regards. Odd in its timing, which is well after the release of the game on all three platforms. Odd that it was made outside of Studio Wildcard. In this case, they used Player One. Odd in how it was framed within an Xbox Wire article. And finally, very odd in who was pushing the narrative, Snail Games. Now, I actually used the search function on this article, and Snail is mentioned 4 times. You've got things like Snail Games and Player One, Snail Games set out to create, and finally, Snail Games' commitment to authenticity and innovation. And the last quote was laughable considering Snail's history, but clearly Snail Games decided to try to kick up the buzz around Ark Survival Ascended into high gear, paying for the trailer work and article placement, all while using another group outside of Studio Wildcard's in-house team to produce the video. This is also the first time I can remember seeing Snail Games promote any specific Ark event on their corporate website, posting a lengthy write-up titled "Snail Unveils Everlasting Winter Wonderland Mod for Ark Survival Ascended," despite the mod showing as being made by Wildcard under the studio header of WC Modding. Now, I know at this point they are inseparable. Wildcard is Snail and Snail is Wildcard. But the use of an outside studio, which could not have been cheap, Snail Games mentioned over and over, and now the Winter Wonderland event showing up on the Snail corporate site when they basically never promote individual Ark events. It again all feels off to me, almost like there is currently something that is run afoul between studio and publisher. Maybe it was Jeremy Stieglitz's comments on the Extra Life event speaking about how the hope was to keep the full attention of Studio Wildcard on what they considered the future of Ark Survival Ascended, not Ark 2. I don't know. And speaking of Stieglitz, he was busy teasing away over on Twitter, again teasing at the Ark animated series coming, I guess, sometime in 2024, along with a new screenshot, presumably from the series. It was interesting to note that Snail Games in their recent presentation at NobleCon showed a graphic of upcoming Ark titles, including Ark Mobile, a new canonical story expansion pack, Ark 2, but noticeably missing was the Ark animated series, which doesn't show up anywhere on their roadmap. Will it? Won't it? I mean, we've been hearing about the series for what seems like forever, and 2024 is now the revised timeline for the release of the Ark animated series. Major technical gremlins are still plaguing the newest Ark experience, and I've received quite a few messages about render distance and the dreaded save game bug. Now, render distance has been an issue since launch, and even on my high-end PC setup, I still find myself not seeing an incoming dino attack until they're basically on top of me, indicating that this is a server performance issue. And yes, like Jeremy said, the servers are still running like ass. Now, console players are still plagued by the save game bug, where they either cannot save their game or it just resets, and the player loses all their progress. I've heard that the save game button has been removed, possibly in the hopes that that was the culprit, but from what I'm told, consoles are really hit or miss. Your game may save, it may not. WildCard really needs to nip both of these issues in the bud ASAP, as they are both really harming the overall Ark Ascended experience. Hey, remember the ARKade ambassadors and Noise, the Snail-owned group running this program? Yeah, neither did I, but it's apparently still up and running, incentivizing streamers to stream Ark Survival Ascended, rewarding them with tickets for reaching milestones, which they can then redeem for real-world merchandise. Anyways, this group recently sent out a tweet allowing ARKade ambassadors to now redeem those tickets for a year-long Streamlabs Ultra subscription, which upon checking is $19 a month or a discounted yearly price of $149. Since I recorded this video, Snail Games has also published a little splash about the ARKade Ambassador program, boasting that it has led to 186 plus million minutes of ARKade content, along with various third-party sponsorships. Now, I also checked out the viewership over on Twitch, and there were just under 2,000 total viewers. So that 186 million number has to be extremely front-loaded from when Ark Survival Ascended first launched, and the 1,900 viewers does not include other streaming platforms. Now, I'm not a part of this program, so it's all alien to me, especially the basics of the program, of incentivizing streamers to stream instead of viewers to view. But if anybody that is an ARKade ambassador wants to clue us in, please leave me a comment explaining how all of this is going. Onto the biggies of cryopods and tame limits, and both have been hot topics within the Ark community, and both have undergone changes and rapid iterations based on player feedback. Now here's the current versions as I understand it. Soft tame limits for official and unofficial are going to be sitting at 5,000, but all of this is currently disabled by default. The way it currently works is that once the cap is reached, a dino needs to die or be cryoed before another dino can hit that server. But with this new soft cap, a server can reach above 5,000 dinos, with any new dinos showing an icon above them showing how long that dino has before it's destroyed, requiring a cryo to save it. This new system will allow established players to keep taming and breeding dinos, while new players will also get the same opportunity, as the changes will grant them 604,000 seconds, or roughly 7 days, to level up their characters to level 50, where they can then unlock cryopods. And speaking of cryos, they've also gone through some rapid changes, as there was a controversial enemy check system that was implemented and then removed. So as it sits now, they seem to be in a better place, and although there's still the cryo fridge range mechanic in the game, that range seems to be far greater than the entire size of the island map. So for now, it's not perfect, as much of the game can be handled like it's an easy mode through the use of cryos, but at least the enemy deployment check system has been removed. It's a good thing I messed up and didn't post this video on my originally planned date, because we had a couple of interesting events happen just days after. The first of which was this official wildcard post concerning the future of Ark Survival Ascended. Now, they've stated that full server transfers will be live this month, so that's January. The remastered Center Map and Gigantoraptor will make an appearance in February, and March will see the launch of Scorched Earth and those Frontier Adventure Packs. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Server transfers, I mean, finally. The Center now jumping ahead of Scorched Earth with the Gigantoraptor and not the Shastasaurus, which was the community voted creature for that map. I mean, I wonder if this is a typo. And then Scorched Earth in March, along with those previously advertised adventure packs. Now, knowing what we know about Wildcard, these release dates are of course all to be determined, and I wonder if the sped up timelines for releases has a lot to do with Ark Survival Ascended not selling as well as the studio expected it to, and needing the income from those packs to fund further development. Just a few days ago, we had a rather large official server rollback, and while I was away, I actually tuned into Hod Gaming's video about the duping issues found on the official network. Links to his video can be found in the video description, and I highly suggest you check it out for yourselves. Now, as far as I know, this has been a known issue since early-ish December, and so when Wildcard implemented an 8-hour server rollback on all official servers, both PvE and PvP, it ignited a lot of pissed off feelings towards the studio. First off, 8 hours was seen as not nearly enough to counter the huge duping issues that have been running rampant for the better part of December. It also affected PvE official, which doesn't make that side of Ark very happy. And finally, the enforcement of known hacking, cheating, and other issues has been, in a word, laughable, actually resulting in the entire official network just being taken offline. Even now, if you look at the official Ark Discord PC patch notes, it reads like a copy and paste event. Fixed exploit, over and over. And now, Wildcard is planning on dropping in server transfers and 2 new maps to the rotation. Ooh, hold on to your butts because early 2024 feels like it's going to be a wild ride. Let's finish up today with Ark 2, which again, according to this Snail Games presentation and roadmap, is somehow still on track for late 2024, despite Steiglitz's announcement about wanting to progress solely with Ark Survival Ascended. Anyways, according to Vanity Fair, Vin Diesel, who was heavily involved in both Ark 2 and the animated series, has been accused of sexual battery in a civil lawsuit filed by a former assistant. The particulars are not very pretty, and all parties are presumed innocent, but this could throw some doubt into release timelines and launch dates, especially if someone that is so interwoven into both projects is concentrated on outside issues. As details for all of this become available, expect a full follow-up report. Make sure to leave me any feedback you have about Ark, and I'll do my best to respond. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are of course greatly appreciated. All my socials can be found in the video description below. Thanks again for all your support. 2023 has been a hell of a year. And until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.